ahead and bring up my laptop. I might have to connect through the laptop. So I even see myself live. Do 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 do. I see that you're back in now. Let's see. There you go. Go. Okay. Boom. Thank you. See, the devil is busy. The devil is busy. Happy New Year. Just flip your camera, cousin.
I know.
Look, I wasn't playing. I was about to break out the laptop. I was like, because I'm
Listen,
like, it never happened before. But just,
listen. I have mine too. I said, you know what? If
just
it don't work,
we don't play games. Be prepared.
I
Look,
said,
I
if it
see that
don't
you
work,
have
we
your
will
hot
make it work.
toddy. I got
Yes,
my tea.
yes,
You have me falling out and stuff like that. Look, you already know how technology
yes,
is. So the devil's busy like that. We about to be even more busier or whatever
yes,
like that. Bring it on into
yes,
2024 for your first
yes.
show. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for
So I'm gonna
coming.
let you reintroduce or whatever like that. If you like to say a
Yes.
couple words, and then we'll go into it.
Yes, 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 yes. All right, so I'm going to go again and send out some requests. I mean, some
Okay.
requests, some invitations and invites to some folks. And hopefully that does not mess up my
At all.
what we have going on.
Why you
But you know
doing
what?
that? You see, listen, I wanted to create the vibe like I'm Nima in the art room. Listen, and we'll give some backstories because you already
I
know which that one
see.
is.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, and thank you, Chef Kareem, for having this on your page because my page was acting a little fuzzy wuzzy. Happy 2024, ladies and gentlemen. This is our first edition of In the Arbor with Nima. I am your host, Nima Shining Star L. Happy 2024, and this is to you. I love my mugs and cups. This is a cup or a mug that I got for the holiday, and it says North Pole Bed and Breakfast. And
That's
I
nice.
got a little tea, iced
She
tea,
said,
Long Island.
and this is not tea. When you listen. Oh my goodness.
And
And I got my little quart container.
uh,
Quart container is insulation like that, keep it a little bit warmer, a little longer and stuff like that. But
yeah,
listen, at home, it ain't no professional, ain't no culinary. I eat out of bowls, big bowls like that, big spoons like that, just like just old fashioned, old school, whatever like that.
all right.
I'm really about to switch to glass though, because plastic is really not, that
It's
safe or
not.
whatever like that. But look,
It's
that's a
not.
whole nother,
A whole nother
we're gonna go into it.
show. A whole nother show. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me just give you a quick background, just in case you don't know. And if you don't know, you better catch up. You better find out. This man right here is a chef. Now, as I said earlier, it's a difference between people that sing and people that sang. It's a difference between people that cook and people that burn. So this brother right here can burn, all right? He's a chef, he's certified. He'll tell you all that. He has the paperwork to back it up. Some people are born naturally doing it. And yes, he comes from a long line of people that can get down in the kitchen. But sometimes to open certain doors, we all know that you need pieces of paper to get in. All right. So this man has the paperwork to back it up. But there was something that I always dreaded about ordering things and having them delivered when it comes to food. I was always that type of person, like I would never order something and somebody have to ship it to me until I thought realistically and logically, like, wait a minute, unless I'm growing my own food, somebody ships it from somewhere, and unless I can follow it from the beginning to my table, it's being shipped. Okay, let's keep it real. So I said, you know what am I thinking about? And this man, this is my cousin, so I know him personally. Okay, and I know what kind of business person he is. When it comes to business, he does not play. So I said, well, you know what, we want to support one another. And I ordered a cake for my youngest daughter's birthday. And I had no idea. I said, this is what I want. This is what I want. My daughter ordered a cake from, this fancy schmancy place, paying this money. So I said, well, we're going to have two cakes. And then I got Chef Kareem to do her cake. And it blew the ordered cake, fancy schmancy cake, out of the window. You know how you have a cake that looks good, but it tastes horrible? His cake looked good, and it tastes good. And I mean, they dissected that thing up like nobody's business. So you know, when something good, you, as they say, you double back. So then I got a cake for my granddaughter's graduation, and that thing blew my mind. Okay, so let me just say that he has a business. If you're looking for cakes, pies, puddings, treats, infused, not infused, whatever it is, he has it for you. Okay, so I'm going to allow this man to introduce himself, and we're going to take it from there. Chef Kareem, tell the people who you be, baby.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Kareem Hutchinson. I was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I'm here now in Atlanta, Georgia, and I've been here for over 10 years now, well over 10 years. Because I've actually been roommates with a friend of mine and stuff like that for 10 years, period, and stuff like that. So I've been here for 10 years just making new routes and stuff like that, in a whole support system. So it really, really feels good. And getting my degree and stuff like that, going back to school. So I have my culinary degree in, I have my culinary degree, SO, Lord, uh, I can't even think of the abbreviation right there, but pretty much it's the certification right there where you take it all the way and stuff like that. There's a year that you can do, and then there is slightly more that you can do. And so when you do the more, they go over everything from mathematics to speech, because people don't understand that, even when you're going into business, you have to know how to talk to people. They have you do psychology classes or whatever like that. That's just understanding the human being from child, the child, earlyhood childhood like that, all the way up until adulthood and stuff like that. So it really feels good just to be all around now and stuff like that, just even from what I've learned myself as a child and stuff like that, growing up like that in school, and taking it, honing in on it like that. And then of course I went back to school for my master's in business just to separate myself, MBA and everything like that. Again, I actually, Nima, I went over there and I researched myself and stuff like that. I went over the previous interview we did. It was so dynamic. It didn't even make no sense. So genuine and stuff like that, and super, super informative and stuff like that. I just wanted to make sure that, I didn't go over the same things, or if I did it, I was, deriving it in a different direction. But that was 3 years ago, of course. So things is entirely, entirely different. Again, happy New Year's to everybody, and I just wanted to say thank you for having me on, and the opportunity, of course, to just continue what I do. And also was one other thing before I let you take over with the questions and whatever else you want to do. I'll divide the direction. And this is good for me because times that we always ask ourselves, what are we doing? Why are we in our fields and stuff like that? 2024. I'm just going to go ahead and say it's transparency and transition.
Mm,
2023, everybody had to go through the trenches and stuff like that. You were it awoken us. Our eyes was awakened, stuff like that, to the BS, to the
mhm,
drama, to what we were doing, what we weren't doing, the lack of and stuff like that. And it all was just highlighted and stuff like that until we are now like that. So you get fed up. You get fed up with your own life, and you want to make a, not in a bad way. People say fed up in a negative way. Like that, you can get fed up, and then just go ahead and hone in on yourself like that, and
mhm,
just be like, hey,
mhm,
it's time for a change. I want to go A, B, C, D like that. This is where we are. This is where we are now, and stuff like that. So, and for
mhm.
people that do not know, this is my cousin's painting. Again, I wanted to just create a little background or whatever like that. I have some visual later on that I'll go into detail of why this means so much to me and exactly what I did with it. But I did purchase this painting from the beautiful lady that you are watching right now. She is an author, a poet, a great mother, a photographer or whatever like that, a poet. Excuse me if I'm repeating myself like that. The painting in the back I actually did at a sip and paint and stuff like that. Yeah, myself or like that. It was
Nice.
it was outlined or like that. All I did was put in the colors and stuff like that. But and then this one up here, I go to a lot of pop-ups to where I sell
Mm,
my baked goods and stuff like that. And I received that one from a person of an artist herself there, and we just kind of bartered and stuff like that. I gave her product and
Wow.
she gave me that and stuff like that. So I love nature and I love photography as well, and I'm naturally photogenic, and I also can take pictures myself, for other people and stuff like that. So there's just many, many skills, as you were saying earlier in the beginning, that our family, because I was watching in the beginning and stuff like that, that our family has. And
Mm-hmm.
I just really, really encourage, before we continue, for people to gather with their own families and just gather in general and become a force
Mm-hmm.
to be reckoned with, just
Mm-hmm.
with two people. Just with two people, just with three or four people. It doesn't have to be a big group. And I'm just telling you, you also have to know people too, like that. You don't want to get into a situation to where, you're going backwards because of,
Right. Right.
drama or what have you and stuff like that. But go ahead and learn, who is around you and stuff
Yes.
like that. This is 2024, and stuff like that. And we can do it on our own and stuff like that, but creating a team and doing it with
Yes.
someone else like that is the bigger picture and stuff like that. So
Absolutely. And it's hard sometimes to create a team, especially, I hate to say it, but it's especially sometimes in your own
mhm,
family. And it's,
mhm,
and you have so many talented people, and I think about our family and other families. If everybody came together in one family, just say our family, it's enough people to do some of everything. We would never have to hire anyone outside of our family because
mhm.
we have it. We have electricians and carpenters and painters and farmers and you know ministers and pastors and reverends and writers and just everybody, nurses and doctors, and that's a whole community. Back before we lived in these big cities, people had little towns where they would say, okay, well, you know what, like you said, barter. Okay, well, we don't really have any money, but cousin so and so can build your house. Okay, well, cousin so and so is the electrician. If I build this house, can they do the electricity? Let's switch up. You do my electric, I'll do your house. Oh, cousin so and so knows all about plumbing. They can put the pipe work in. It's just, it's common sense, but sometimes, we don't use our
Common
common
sense
sense.
ain't common.
Right,
Mhm.
right, 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 right. Leave that one alone. So I'm going to go ahead to this interview and I'm going to jump right in and I'm going to ask you, Chef Kareem, how long have you been um, doing what you do? How long have you been a chef, whether it's with the paperwork or without? How long have you been doing and creating this?
So I'm laughing because 3 years ago I said the same thing, and I'm gonna say it again and stuff like that, because I'm not, ripping away any of my time frame and stuff like that. But I actually did do the work and look it up. 2013 is when I actually graduated from culinary school. So
Okay,
it has exactly been 10 years from now.
okay.
And then even without paperwork and stuff like that, that's where you learn and make your mistakes and stuff like that. You don't have to be in a commercial kitchen and stuff like that, or even in the industry to where a practicing accountant or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, once you get in that workload in and stuff like that, those are your years. That's when you have all the time to make the mistakes and stuff like that. And I don't want anybody to take away, from the timing that they've put
Mm-hmm,
into anything.
mm-hmm,
Any
mm-hmm.
time that you're putting into it, you count those years and stuff like that. So 10 years on paper and 20 years overall. I'm 35. I'll be 36 in March and stuff like that. So I mean, you look at those dates. Okay, 15 or whatever like that I started around, and even we already know that. Well, excuse me. For those who do not know, I've actually been in the kitchen. Um, Earlier than that, at around 7 years old, my mom started exposing me, just trying to get me to do things on my own,
Mm-hmm.
independency, or like that, which is what we're all about and stuff like that, and in my culture and in my family and stuff like that. And I always love the fact that how you could take a raw product form and stuff like that, egg, whether it's the raw piece of meat or whatever like that, whether it's a piece of corn or like that, you shuck it and stuff like that, it's opening up or like that, you know what I mean, pomegranates or whatever like that, just all of these,
Mm-hmm.
fruits and vegetables that some people may know about, some people may not know about and stuff like that. And I really encourage people too to just open your horizons, take time like that, go to the farmers market, pick up a random fruit, jackfruit or like that, which is a peculiar one and stuff like that, but it emulates meat and stuff like that for vegans and
Okay,
stuff like that,
okay,
vegetarians and stuff like that. So
okay.
you can get jackfruit and stuff like that, and it'll be very meaty and stuff like that, and a stew with it and stuff like that, and it'll take on any flavor that you put in it. Same thing with mushrooms. Some people don't like mushrooms or whatever like that, but mushrooms are just taste exactly like meat like that. I had some fried mushrooms. I'm like, wait a minute, these ain't mushrooms. These is gizzards. You hear me?
Oh,
Okay, this
I
is
love me
liver.
some. I
This ain't
love
no
some
mushrooms.
mushrooms. I
Yes,
love some
I do
mushrooms.
too.
Come on now.
I
Come on now.
do too. So, and let me just take over a little bit and stuff like that while I'm full and stuff like that. I've been in the culinary industry for 10 years plus. It feels good now because when you know what you're talking about, it feels good like that, or even if and I'm not a master at anything like that. Nobody is like that. I'm always in that learning stage. I like to stay there
Hmm,
and
hmm,
humble
hmm.
myself like that. You stay in that stage, you'll be fine and stuff like that because you'll always be taking on new information like that, and also being able to um, provide it back to other people so other people can learn. So
Hmm.
as of now, I'm actually certified with the city of Atlanta. Where I can work with anyone I want to, whether it's the Hilton, which I'm actually partnered with them as
Okay.
well, and meaning partnered as on their roster where they can, hire me to do anything, any caliber of work like that for them. I've also just been getting my feet wet, going to these meetings and stuff like that, where they have throughout the city. The past one was at a city hall meeting at the courthouse where they were highlighting a new space that is going to be in Grant Park, which is a park away there
Hmm.
by the zoo in Atlanta and stuff like that. And
Okay.
it's a nice space and stuff like that. I actually was looking at it even before they made it available and stuff like that. And then how you do it is they'll bid. People will bid on these budgets and stuff like that. Say that somebody is interested in that building and stuff like that, they actually will create a plan first, and then whatever they might bid and stuff like that. And it's it's a process like that. Even if you don't have finances, it's all a big process like that. But it just feels good, being in those rooms and stuff like that. The other one I went to was one at the airport and stuff like that, where they're actually doing expansion with the airport and stuff like that. And this is where you just plug in yourself. I'm just trying to be an
Right.
encouragement to other people and stuff like that. I'm not no aviation or like that. I'm not a construction or nothing like that or like that. But I see that there's a big project going on. I'm going to apply myself and stuff like that because who don't need food every day, And the
Exactly.
difference is,
Exactly.
they don't have to go off site. They can stay on site or whatever like that. That's a lot of people that need to be fed and stuff like that. So I just want to apply myself, and I'm gave my information to the head honcho,
There you go.
and stuff like that, and
Exactly.
made sure
Exactly.
that I was in the circle, and that's how you plant seeds. So all I've been doing all 2023 was planting seeds, planting seeds, planting seeds,
Good.
planting seeds. On top of, while business was operating and fluctuating and stuff like that, because I want to encourage anybody because I hear a lot of stories that 2023 was rough for people who had businesses and did not have businesses. Don't be discouraged. Please do not be discouraged and stuff like that because those failures and those no's will get you into those big opportunities and those doors. And also,
Mm.
business fluctuates,
Yeah.
naturally or whatever
Yeah.
like that. So you're gonna have heights, you're gonna have lows like that, and that's just natural. And then you also have to feel and understand what's going on right there. People are still in the, pandemic and COVID mentality and mind frame, and
Yes.
playing
Yes.
a domino effect of trying to play catch up or whatever like that.
Yes.
We're already
Absolutely.
hamsters on the wheel. I'm just
Absolutely.
going to say it. We're already hamsters on the wheel, and I want to say too much, but I want our eyes or our logic get canceled. But we're hamsters on the wheel. Anytime that anybody is taking our 50% of our revenue or whatever like that, we're hamsters on the wheel. No matter
Mm.
what or whatever like that. So even with the business, it's opened my eyes to, see that now you have certain things to where you can do this, you can do that or like that, you can sustain yourself or whatever like that, do a little bit more or whatever like that,
Right.
write things off or whatever like that. The
Right.
people that don't know about writing things off or like that, you buy something, now your purchases and let me see if now your expenses become your purchases or like that, and also vice versa or like that. So of
Right.
course this time is tax season or like that, so where people
Oh,
are
right.
looking to get
Right.
money back and stuff like that, and then people who have businesses or like that will just get back a little bit more. So it's
Mm.
just like you definitely see different different journeys or like that once you walk it out and stuff like that. So the certification that I actually have is SBE, Small Business Enterprise. I'm looking at my computer like that, cheating and stuff like that, so I can read off the different abbreviations. But I didn't know that with minorities or like that they had so many different there were so many creations of certifications. SBE, Small Business Enterprise, or like that. MBE, which is the Minority Business Enterprise, and then they have all type of WBE, which is the Women Business Enterprise.
Right,
FBE, Female Business Enterprise. And you know why? Because females had to, they had to, they were ostracized like that. They could not vote or like that. So our laws are made up of things that we could not do, and now we're able to do and stuff
right,
like that.
right,
So
right.
a lot of the minorities and a lot of these certifications were created because just by maybe the color of someone's skin or like that, or even their
Hmm.
sex or gender
Hmm.
and everything like that or excuse me, their gender like that affected what they can and cannot do.
Right,
So
right, right.
now a lot of businesses are the requirement is diversity. So they have to work with 25 to 30%, a certain percentage or like that of minorities, which is us, black people, Asians or whatever like that, females, um, and what have you and stuff like that, Hispanics. So it's actually very very uplifting and stuff like that. And I mean, hey, we here now like
Yeah.
that to stay.
Yeah, exactly, exactly, exactly. That let me tell you something. As you're speaking, I'm glancing at my questions and I'm checking off the questions because I'm like, okay, he answered that. Okay, he answered that. I'm like, okay, skip, skip, skip. I was like, all right, now. All I have to do is jump on, introduce you, and let it rip. So, okay. My next question is now this could be a little tricky, maybe not. What has been the most challenging thing about being a chef, doing what you do? What is the most challenging thing if you want to share that with us?
Oh, that is an interesting one. I like that. Wait a minute now, you just threw a little
In
fork
my
in the
head,
road.
I came up with a couple of them. I said, you know what? I can't. I'm not even going to
You know
assume.
me too
Let me
well.
just
You be like
ask.
this boy. This boy be all over the place. I gotta have some stuff ready for him. So let
I mean, if it's
me
more
see.
than
Let me see. Let me
one, you
see.
can name a couple. I just want to
Okay.
know.
Okay.
For those that are
So
watching, that may say, I might want to go into this business, whatever.
I'm gonna take it to right where I'm at now, and then I probably will get something else
Okay,
too right there. So right now, I love what I do right there. So talking to people is not a problem. Creating flavor profiles and what I actually do with my craft, that is no issue at all. So it just
right.
becomes and it's funny because all during the pandemic, I was listening to all these different TikToks and memes and stuff like that and everything like that, and audios. And the one that stood out the most is a Judge Judy or Judy yeah, Judge Judy like that, her audio voice that said, you know, do what you love to do and do and I'm paraphrasing, do what
Okay.
you love to do like that, because if you don't, or if you do like that, you don't have to pedal backwards and just just figure some stuff out like that, because it's what you do and it's what you love to do and stuff like that. And so I just wanted to say that about that because it was inspiring to me and stuff like that. But at this point right now, the hardest thing is, I would say, I'm innovative and I can continue to create things like that to keep myself, I guess not necessarily on top, but the eyes on me. So I'm very good at that. But right now I'm just working on advertising more, advertising and branding.
Okay.
Branding is so important. So for those that do not know, I purchased this painting from my cousin and stuff like that, and then I went and created labels and stuff like that for people. So Growing Inevitable, my business name, and then I wanted the background behind that. So it also is very, if I see this anywhere, I'm just like, hold on, wait a minute now. Do I gotta take somebody to court? It's like,
Right?
now, of
Because
course,
Nima
everything is
only
gonna
do
be
one of a kind.
right. Exactly, exactly, exactly. Yeah, and I'm going to be copywriting those things. But as of right now, like the most challenging thing is branding and advertising. Now, prior to that, I would say maybe the hardest thing is just maybe it's not really an issue for me, but maybe for other people like that, the hardest thing or the most challenging thing would be separate yourself. Separate yourself from anything else that anybody is doing. Now, a lot of people, like you said, a lot of people cook. But you have to separate yourself. You can't be like anybody else, and I don't even desire to look like anybody else, let alone do anything else that somebody else is doing. Because I
Okay.
never want to be like, and then of course there's always things that people have done in the past, a lot of things, the bell bottoms from back in the day, or whatever like that, the hairstyles like that, all those things is recreated. Even in the music now, you're hearing a lot of samples and
Mhm.
stuff like that
Mhm.
from previous artists or like that. So it's not like, excuse me, it's not like these individuals don't have their own individuality and stuff like that, but it's also more like a trend or whatever like that. They want to keep, to say, and I mean, that is the art piece or whatever like that. I'm going to play devil's advocate or like that. I ain't trying to be funny. I don't naturally like it. I hear a little sample, I get excited because I think I'm about to hear, my song from back in the day, and then that was all different. I'm like, wait a minute now,
Mhm.
so.
Mhm.
But if you can make a song and stuff like that, or create anything that someone else's did or like that, and then spin off on it or like that, you got it. You got that. Like, go, I commend you and stuff like that. So I'm gonna just be, transparent and stuff like that and say that. But yes, the most challenging thing is, you gotta separate yourself. And for me, I like to do a lot of sweet and savory things and stuff like that with my dishes and stuff like that. So you know, yeah, it feels good like that. And I'm just going into a little bit of more of the description of the different things that you can and can't do. Those labels that I showed you, and that's why I want to rebrand it like that, because somebody else that sees that, it might deter them from my business because they're like, hey, I can't see the words,
Right.
I can't see the title.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I'm
Right.
saying? You see all this speckle or whatever
Right.
like that, and it's already
Right.
alluring, and then
Right.
you're putting, because to be honest, I couldn't do any other letters but white in order for you to
Right.
actually see it. And then of course I think it's not bad like that. You do have to, look at it a little bit and stuff like that. But like I said, and then also like I'm doing so much in my business like that. So my business is in cakes and desserts. I switched about 3 to 5 years ago and stuff like that, and actually been on paper with my LLC for 2 years or like that,
Okay.
and more executing 3 years and stuff like that. But I'm already in my mind frame. And just for anybody that does not know, the reason why I even went into culinary is because of desserts and stuff like that. I used to work at ShopRite Cinnamon Sin, that's Jersey and stuff like that. And I used to
Okay.
be gazing at the bakery. I used to just be gazing at the
Okay.
bakery while I was just doing the back in the
Right.
day
Right.
flowers and stuff like that with the,
Right.
stencils and stuff like that, and all type of different other instruments that they use. And I love food. I have a really, really increased sweet tooth and stuff like that. So I already know what people like anyway and stuff like that. So I never in a million years would have thought that I would be actually doing cakes and desserts like that, chasing that and stuff like that. So I already knew that I had what I had before I knew I had it, and I ran from it and stuff
Hmm.
like that for
Uh-uh.
years.
We're gonna stop you right there. We're not gonna act like you just didn't say what you said. Say that part as they say that part. Say that part again. You what? You
I
what?
had I had what I had before I knew I had it, and
You better
then
put
I
that on a shirt.
ran from
You
it.
better put that on a shirt. Y'all heard it here first. Okay? Don't make us go to the
I
tape. As they
ran
say, we got receipts.
I ran from my craft for so many years. Like I said, I used to be in produce, and people were asking me questions. They're like, "Hey, where is this?" And then once I get them to the product and stuff like that, because you take the person to the product, let's say that right there, because they don't do that no
No,
more. You know what I mean?
it was over
So
there so
after I took
good.
them to the product like that, but what can I do with this? And I am just like, girl, just go ahead and boil some pasta or whatever like that. You can add this and add that or whatever like that. And they're all like, wow, I never thought about that. Well, yeah, I'm just like, it's just was coming naturally and stuff like that. But I ran for my craft for so many years. And even when I was in college and stuff like that, those surveys that they give you, they're trying to help you to build your career. They ask you, do you like
Mhm.
dogs? Do you like
Right,
cats? Do you like this? Do you
right,
like
right,
that? And they're
right,
trying to
right.
see where your interest is and stuff like that. And I mean, even that's kind of backwards to me now. I'm not even gonna go. I'm gonna stay on topic for a minute like that because
Okay.
it's like why do people think like that? Okay, just because I like to do it, that doesn't mean that I want to do it all the time. Which is why I struggle with culinary. I'm just like I don't want to burn myself out in something that I love.
Right.
So I didn't want to turn my passion into a career. Because just like somebody
Right.
enjoys knitting or crocheting and stuff like that.
Right.
Okay, now if I got six daggone big old blankets to do like that, that's stressful now.
Right.
That's not
Exactly.
enjoyable or whatever like that. Now, even though it comes natural like that, it's still, but like I said, I got out of that mind frame and you can't quite think like that. You just have to know how to set up your business and
Right.
stuff like that where it works for you. And that's
Mhm.
what I did. I found what works for me and stuff like that. And some clients I turn away. You don't have to. All money ain't good money like that. So
Mm.
you don't have to accept every order or whatever like that. You don't have to accept every. Also you also have to understand how people operate. If people are not handling things professionally, if they're operating at the last minute, and you know that you. Because to be honest, I try not to do this because I don't want people also but you also have to, set your business up like that. You don't want nobody to obligate you at the last minute. And now, I can do whatever. Like I ain't never don't go on lack or whatever like that. Now I might have to
Right.
charge you more and stuff
Right.
like
Right.
that. But you
Right.
still have to be organized and stuff like that. So ShopRite Cinnamon is where I was at, where I even, started to develop, even the mind frame of I'm just like, hey, these people are asking me questions. I'm just answering it all willy-nilly and stuff like that and stuff. So it just came easy like that. So never thought I would be doing this, and it feels so beautiful that I'm actually doing it now. Now just continuing real quick right there, I have a cottage license. These are my labels and stuff like that, additional labels. So there should always be two labels on your package, and you want to have your ingredients and stuff like that, which is now not so much required and stuff like that, especially if you have, because of course, one cake is going to be a separate, different ingredients than another cake. That's
Mhm.
that's that's a little bit too much labor or whatever like that, and they actually understand that now. The FDA and all the other stuff like that. Now, of course, for corporate, that's yeah, we can't do that. No matter what the product is, it has to be labeled and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Every ingredient and stuff like that, because of course, nowadays, and they even lie on the label. That's why you got to read your labels. And also you know, just be careful or whatever like that. But yeah, they yes, like certain things or whatever like that. 100% fruit juice, that ain't
Oh
100%
yeah,
fresh.
yeah, 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 yeah.
It's a lie.
Absolutely.
It's a lie. You know what
Absolutely.
I'm saying? You know what
Absolutely.
I mean?
Yeah.
So
I know.
they do all of
Absolutely.
that, and even you just have to be safe. And precautious with anything that you do and stuff like that. But I have a college license for those that want to get into certain things and just understand what you can and can't do.
Right.
Now, with a college license, you can do desserts and cookies and stuff like that, and baked goods and
Okay.
stuff like that in cases, which is what I do. But you cannot do savory food because that is
Okay.
more of a liability because you have to hold those products at certain temperatures or whatever like
Right.
that.
Right. Right.
Of
Right. Right.
course, 165 degrees for chicken or whatever like that. And that's
Okay.
actually for chicken to be done. That's not to hold the actual chicken or like that for warm and room temperature for
Right.
actually ready to eat.
Okay.
Those are different and stuff like that. But yeah, you have to get a shared kitchen and then different things, which is fine like that. Some people want to do all that, but I ain't trying to be funny when you've been into it as long as I have and stuff like that, and then you also get a just different ideas and stuff
Mm.
like that. Especially the way technology is going now. People are more being mobile. Uber Eats
Yes.
or whatever like that. You're competing with
Yes.
all of these Instacart, whatever like that, to where people can get the food delivered right to them or whatever
Yes.
like that.
Yes.
Personal chef, private chef. So cakes and desserts is what I execute and stuff like that. And then of course I also have personal chef services because if I'm going on to somebody else's home doing whatever like that, those
Hmm.
are different services like that. I don't have to do that at my home. So the cottage license allow me to legally operate out of my home and stuff like that, and then deliver, have pickup, what have you. So in addition
Mm.
to the certifications with the city and stuff like that to allow me to do different things, I have my business license with the county. Now they have a state, they have a city license, stuff like that, which allows you to do the same things. But they also have a county license. But all those, like I said, operate and work hand in hand. I have a county license because I'm working with the county like that. So I pay the county to operate. The state get me and the federal get me and stuff like that. But that's how business is and stuff like that. So of course it's the
Hey,
end of the
talk
year.
about it.
It's the end of the year I had to renew my LLC. I had to renew, my Secretary of State. Well, Secretary of State is the LLC and stuff like that. And then I had to renew my agriculture license and stuff like that, which is the business license,
Wow.
through the
Okay.
agriculture
Okay.
department and stuff like
Okay.
that. So
Okay. Wow. Man. Okay. Listen, I have yet to see an interview. And listen, if you have, then great for you. I have yet to see an interview with a chef, someone that cooks, whatever, that has actually gone into license and paperwork and telling you how to go about getting it. Because this is something that I've always said. In certain cultures, you see everyone sharing everything. They tell each other, "Oh, well, you're going fishing. How can I get those fish?" You know, instead of having you get them for me or paying you, maybe I might pay you the first time, but okay, now I'm going to show you how to fish and what to do so you can fish for
mhm,
yourself. And now you can get a
mhm,
certain kind of fish. I can get a certain kind of fish. We can not only feed our families, but we can sell our wares to other people and then teach them how to fish. So sometimes I said that to say that sometimes people are so busy worrying about, you got 50 cents. I want your 50 cent, or I want to get my own 50 cent instead of learning how to get a dollar. You know what I mean? Instead of trying to learn the business, they want it to come easy, or they want someone to do it
mhm.
for them. And some people, or on the other hand, some people don't want to share because they're so afraid that you're going to get something that they have or get something better, And it's like, it's right now, it's room for everybody. Right now, it's room for everybody. That hasn't always been the case, and it may not always be the case. But right now, there's room for everybody. And this man is giving you the information. He's putting you on game. He's dropping some jewels. He's giving you the information. The paperwork that he has, the paperwork that you need. If you don't need it, you feel like you don't need it, and you can do your thing and rock out, do you. Take care of you. Take care of your family. Do what you have to do. But he's giving up a lot of information and letting you know how to go about it. And I'm sure, and I don't know because I don't, that's not my business, but is it like that for every state or is that just for where you are?
I'm glad you asked because all over in my mind, I'm like, I wanted to tell them this too, like that. So, and let me just say what you can do also with it after. Let me answer this question first. So, no, every state is different.
Okay.
That's why I wanted to, I said in our last interview that it's like Georgia wants to have their hands in all of your pockets, just a money hungry state. And I ain't scared to say it like that. Your left pocket, your side pocket, your right pocket, your back pocket, and it's true like that. It also seems like nobody took the time to just sit up there and understand those steps that you had to take and be like, this is what you have to do,
Okay.
this is what the goal is, stuff like that, go from here to here and stuff like that. It's like a hiccup every time, like I gotta do this. And then of
Mm,
course, no I'm not gonna say who, but no corporations don't want you to be a business owner. They want you to work for them or whatever like that. That way you're stuck in this and whatever cycle or whatever
mhm.
like that. I don't want to speak negative about like that because to each his own.
Right,
People
right,
take care of their families how they take care of
right.
their families. And let me be fully transparent right there. Right now I still have a full-time job and stuff like that because you have to and stuff
Right,
like
right, right,
that. And if you don't
right.
have to, you don't have to, but I have one right now until I don't have
There
to.
you
You know what I mean? And
go.
let me just continue. Like I said, I have a full time job and stuff like that because it takes money to make money
Mm,
or whatever like that.
mm.
So and just because you have a lot of money like that, who don't need more or whatever like that? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly.
It's all type of stuff and everything like that. So no,
Exactly.
every state is different. So I encourage you, but it's similar. It's similar whatever like that. Still, at the end of the day, you still need an LLC. But even with an LLC or whatever like that, that's kind of like okay, what is it for? Where is the money going
Right,
or whatever
right.
like that? So there also has to be something else or like that to uphold. Now, of course, if I'm a if I'm writing, actually, I used to do consulting and stuff like that, and write papers for people and stuff like that, documents and stuff like that. So of course, that is pen and paper. You know what I mean? So
Mm,
you don't need a certification for that. Go ahead and get your LLC. Go ahead and begin operating. Same thing with teachers or whatever like that. Um, you can have your degree and stuff like that, and then you can. I mean, but teaching is teaching or whatever like that. If you want to, if you want to tutor somebody like that, go ahead and get your LLC. become a tutor right there, and then now you're a teacher, so you may have the skill or the craft to educate on science, math, this or whatever like that. So go ahead and do those things like that, and
Okay.
bring that money in like that. So yes, it's different in every state, and then also let me just continue with the county certification. That allows me actually, like I said, not even to have a brick and mortar or a charge over my head as far
Okay.
as to where
Okay.
I'm coming in every day, turning the lights on or like that. And now I have to pay for this building or like that
Right.
to
Right.
operate it or like that.
Right. Right.
I can, use the college license or like that to operate out of my home or whatever like that, and then I can relocate or like that. I can actually sit on the street or whatever
Okay.
like that. Like now in Atlanta, now period, and in Atlanta like that is very, very, very way, way, way more prominent. Everybody's doing it. I'm talking about on this Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You see people washing cars on the side of the street like that. You see barbecue pits
Hey.
lit up or whatever like that on every daggone corner like that. See up north we have carts, and they're stationary or whatever like that. And I love the breakfast carts or like that, hoagies or whatever like
Mhm.
that. You can get your cigarettes, your lotto tickets. You know what I'm talking about or like that. Now
Yeah.
here in Atlanta, they had that and stuff like that, and I love that because it's the environment and it's the creation of the city.
Okay.
Even when you go to New Orleans, you got the whatever the bands and stuff like that. The people
Right.
out there
Right. Right.
doing
Right.
music and stuff like that. We have our
Right.
carts
Right.
or whatever
Right.
like that, or like
Right.
that and stuff. You go get you something to eat or like that, and keep going like that. Those mom and pop shops or like that should be cherished
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But see, here in Atlanta, they chased them away. They chased them away
Mhm.
because they didn't have what I have or whatever like that. They didn't have a business license. So to be honest, a lot of these people who are out here and stuff like that, if you have what you have, you have what you have. If you don't, well, like that, technically a police can come up and tell you, like, move and
Yeah.
leave.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you have
Yeah.
A, B, C, and D? If you
Absolutely.
don't leave, or like that, I would feel, and I would, I wouldn't want to do that myself like that, all that work like that, just to set up like that, not even just to set up like that, and then stuff to have somebody to move. So at first, I was a little
Hmm.
leery and stuff like that. Now, shoot, I'll go on the belt line or like that, have a whole spread of cookies and cakes or like that, and make my money for the day, whatever like that, if I want to. And of course, I started, operating more intentional and stuff like that. But yeah, yeah, with the business license, you literally have, a permit to operate in the city or whatever like that. Like, yes, if the building is now, you can't just sit up out no Walmart or whatever like that because that's Walmart's property.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I understand. Right.
Know your
Right.
laws, research and stuff like that, and what you can and can't do like that. Of course, you
Right.
don't want to
Right.
be in no dangerous place like that off the highway or whatever like that. But in a regular traffic area or
Right.
whatever like that, near a park or like that, a park is could be government or city limits and stuff
Hmm.
like that. If it's like that, it's free. It's a free fall like that. Now, so
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let me say this. This is so informative. This is some great information, some good information. If you guys are missing any of this, you can play it back. You can play it back and listen. Get your pen, your paper, write it down, put it on pause, whatever you need to do if you're about to get started and and do your thing. This I really appreciate this. This is a lot of information. And I was like, wow. My brain right now is swimming. I'm like, wait, wait, wait. I'm like, why am I swimming? I
I'm
don't
trying
do
not
this
to
for
bring
a
out a
living.
character.
This is not my
Wait.
thing. I'm like, okay, I'm not cooking nothing yet, but this is good. This is really good. So I hope you guys are taking heed to what's being said. Um, I want to ask you, listen, you have already answered all the questions that I wrote down because one thing I like about my conversation is although it's an interview, they're very organic and very comfortable. So
Genuine,
yes, I
yes,
will write down some
yes.
questions to be professional, but most of the time it's from the hip, from the heart. It's ran off of emotion, and depending on the vibe that you have with the other person, you can just go back and forth. You know what I mean? So we've already answered all of this. So I'm going to ask you because this is something that I've always wondered about when it comes to um, doing like the shows and the pop-up shops and things like that because I follow you and I'm looking at some of these events and I mean they be sharp. These people be sharp and be packed. And I'm
BET
looking at the
experience. I was on a
videos.
BET experience. That was nice, but the BET experience right there. That's literally like before the BET award show, and I also
Right,
missed a couple
right.
opportunities because I was doing so much. But keep going. Go ahead.
I'm looking and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is big time. but I'm also looking, I'm watching little videos and little clips, and I'm saying to myself, I wonder if it ever has gotten to a point where people have either bragged about your treats and your food so much that somebody, I don't want to say low level hated or whatever, but just like they ain't all that. I mean, yeah, he all right. Have you ever experienced that?
Every day, every day, every day, and I'm not gonna say every day, but it happens way, way, way more often. Ooh, why would you say that? You go.
Because let me tell you one thing
People
I
do
do, right?
that.
And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we are not naming any names or any
Nope,
events. This is just
nope,
generic
nope.
because I'm the type of person, right? Let me tell you this quick little story. So I watch the news. I hate watching the news, but I love watching the news. Okay,
That's me.
but I watch the news. I'm watching the news one day, and I'm the type of person that will watch the news, but I'm watching what's going on in the back. Like if the news reporter is talking or the people sitting at the desk, I'm looking over their shoulders and I'm looking around, especially if they're sitting by a window or whatever. So I'm just looking. And sometimes on the news, it sounds like I'm yelling. Am I yelling?
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Because when I get excited, I talk loud.
Me
I'm
too.
a big girl, okay, a
Me
big
too.
woman,
Me
ladies and
too.
gentlemen.
Me
So
too. Me
sometimes
too.
my voice, I come from my
We are
family, and sometimes we
like
talk over each other.
enunciating. They can hear us the same tone or whatever like
Okay.
that. We might be yelling to us or whatever like that, but you know,
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, maybe I should take these off. So
no,
I'm
and I
looking
love
at
that
the news.
too. I love
I'm
it when
looking
you
at the
listen.
news broadcast. Thank you. And I'm looking at the gentleman. He's talking. I'm laughing because he's telling the joke. But they're sitting, him and his co-anchor. They're sitting in front of this big window, this big bay window. But and I'm just looking. I'm looking. I'm looking. And I just see people walking down the street. Now, mind you, they're not on the street. They're in their office, a couple floors up. But I'm looking down behind them, because you can see. Why did I call? I called my sister, and I'm not going to say no names because everybody don't need to know my nephew's name. But I called one of my sisters, and I was like, was your son just at such and such? And she's like, what? I said, I saw him on the news. And she's like, wait, what you mean you saw him on the news? I said, no, not like that. He was going somewhere and I was watching a certain channel. I said, and literally I could see over their shoulders, even though they're kind of high up, you can still look and see some of the people outside from a long distance. My eyes are so good. It was from a long distance. I spotted my nephew and I called and she said, it sure
Wow.
was because I watch. So I said all of that to say, even though I might be watching something, I'm always watching what's going on in the background. When I'm at, when I'm like if I'm somewhere like a wedding or a graduation or somebody, I know somebody's videotaping. I always tell people, some people don't care. I always say, if you're going to talk, whisper. And if you whisper, cover your mouth because people read lips. I don't know how many times I've watched a wedding or something that my family has had and I peeped what people were saying, even though you couldn't hear them. I rewound the tape and I was like, oh, she just said such and such and such and such. Now, why would she say that? If I can read her lips, I know somebody else can read her lips. So I watch your stuff and I watch the way people move. And I'm like, that person right there look like they're saying something negative just by their body language, just by their eyes, and just by the way the hand went like this. So I said, let me ask, have you experienced that? The haterism, low level or whatever, just being your beautiful, creative self.
So yes, it happens way more often. And before I answer that, I'm the same way with the news. I like to get the wisdom, but I don't like the negativity. And I'm also like that too. Even with movies, I'm all looking in the background and
Right.
behind the film and stuff like that. Because I mean, that's just being observant. And it's funny that you said that story too about the news. Because my brother literally called me. He was like, "I saw you on the news." I was working at the airport. And it was just one of them times where it was just crowded in the
Mm-hmm.
airport like that. So they were just highlighting something like that. He said he saw me on the news. I'm like, yeah, I always see it on and I wouldn't even know this thing even like that, but it's good to be observant.
Yes.
So
Yes.
first of all, nobody has to even ever say it to me. I could feel it. I could
Oh,
feel it. And
okay.
so you know what
Okay.
I do? I might look at my phone or like that. Because first of all, I'm not even trying to be funny. When I'm at events, my stuff sells itself, and I don't want to be big headed or
Does.
whatever like that. But it looks good or whatever
Yes,
like
it
that. Even
does.
on whatever like that. You know, so and food should sell itself anyway. If it don't look good and inviting, I don't want it. You know
That's
what I'm saying? I'm
right.
just gonna be honest or whatever like that.
Presentation
And
is
people should be
everything.
honest. People to be honest too, whatever like that, you know. So now, you know, there's a difference between inviting, it looking good, and then of course, what my field is, which is the perfection and the daggone, you know. Now that I don't even agree with and stuff like that because I'm like, okay, some of that stuff on TV like that is fake or whatever like that.
Yes.
You know, you got different type of food coloring all, you know, being poured and
Yes.
like that. I ain't trying to be funny, but I'm just gonna say it like that. Food look nasty if it's not hot. You take it out of the refrigerator. I'm just gonna say it. You know, the oil and the fat is all coagulated and stuff like that. It look crazy or whatever like that. And then people putting all these pictures on social media like that. Look, I might be included or whatever like that. Cause I know sometimes I'll just snap and be like that because it was good as a mug or whatever like that. But it might not look good right now. And you know, I like a lot of one pot methods and stuff like that. So it
Okay.
might look all together and crazy, but I mean the reviews that I get is never bad. I
Right.
always post something like that, and they're like, "That look good." And I was like, "Okay," because I was a little hesitant on posting it because it looked a little crazy or whatever like that. But no, you got to kind of get out your mind or whatever like that, and just stay true to yourself. But yes, let me go into detail. Um, it happens all the time. And then another thing is the competition. So I'm never the only vendor there,
Right. Right.
right?
Right.
So, and I also might be another vendor that might have, I also may be a vendor that another vendor has the same product. Never get intimidated. I ain't trying to be funny. I always make $1, whether it's $1 or whether it's more than that or like that. But I'm going to sell because I'm a because I'm a
I know
hustler. That's just who I am or
that's
whatever like
right.
that. You know,
I
so
know.
but of course you have your bad days and you have your good days like that. But yeah, so whatever like that. You know, some people, and especially, 'cause I ain't trying to be funny, but the way I move, I don't never go nowhere twice or like that. Or if I do, I make sure it's space in between. You know what that does? It creates expectancy. Now they think that you're gonna be everywhere. No, you're not gonna see me every week because I have other things to do outside of this or whatever like that. So then you'll see me pop up one time and I'll be boom, 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 boom. Then I'll be just MIA like the next thing you know like that. I'll be on the scene and stuff like that. That's how I just operate. And then it's always funny because I always wind up seeing the same people a little bit or whatever like that, or I'm like, oh, I see you at, and then the way I operate too. And I'm gonna put some people on game or whatever like that. I'll go ahead and tell my
Okay.
secret like that. But anytime I meet somebody, I always follow them and then I always drop my information in their DM. That way, if I
Okay.
ever run across, they be like, "Oh wow, we're already friends." I wonder why that is or like that. Because I already did my research before I came here or
Right.
whatever like that. I
Right.
made sure that
Right.
I hit you up and 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 like that. That way, it's already a connection when you
Right.
come to my
Right.
table. You
Right.
know what I
Right.
mean? So sometimes you gotta do a little pre-work or whatever like that, and sometimes you just gotta just and that just comes with experience. That's the same thing as if you have a job. People don't follow up no more. They don't have time to call you back. Go up to them or like that and go get your job or whatever like that. Get that money and stop playing or whatever like that. This is for the younger generation, and this is for the older generation that don't do it and has forgotten and stuff like that. But let me just continue on topic and stuff like that and just say yes, you always going to get some type of looks and stuff like that and anything like that. But let me tell you this one that it happens all the time like that and it blows me like that, but you still got to stay in professional mode. And I
Mm-hmm.
know how to dismiss somebody real quick. That's the best way to do it. Say what you got to say like that, and then if you see that they are on with what I'm getting ready to say, then you can just kind of dismiss it like that and walk away like that. But the biggest thing that I get, and I was at the mall one time, and just was talking and stuff like that, and sharing my information. I was like, "How you doing? Do you have your phone and stuff like that? 'Cause, nowadays technology and stuff like that. I
Right.
still do
Right.
have my hard copy business cards like that, but
Right.
sometimes I have my the more familiar thing is the dot
Right.
cards and all that like that. But mine is
Right.
called
Right.
Blink like that, BLINQ. It's free.
Mm-hmm.
You can literally put all the information, anything you want, all the way down from payment to IG
Okay.
website and stuff like that. I'll talk about my website later and stuff like that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna talk about that. I'm gonna bridge that in with
Yeah.
this and
No.
stuff
Go
like that.
ahead.
So
Bring
what
it
people
in.
do is they pick your brain. They be picking your brain and be trying to ask you questions. First of all, don't allow nobody to do that because do not do not try to challenge my intelligence or like that. That is very ignorant or like that, and people do it all the time. Now, if you want to ask a question or like that, like you're doing because you're genuinely wanting to know, ask a question or like that.
Right.
But okay, let me get back to the number one. Like that. In the mall, I was telling the lady about my about my business stuff like that, that I sell cakes and stuff like that. Okay, seeing your work is one thing and stuff like that and everything like that, but some people don't got all that, so you
Mhm.
have to also, understand like that, yeah, get it together, get your content and stuff like that, but this technology like that is too content forward like that. Just because I got the content, okay, I could have got that content off of somebody else's page
Mm,
or whatever like that, you know what I
true,
mean?
true.
So it's all about like, okay, are you really interested? Because if you are, I can go ahead and give you a tasting or whatever like that. Like, go ahead and pay your deposit. Let me give you a tasting and stuff like that. Let's do this for real like that.
Right.
Forget all the ins and outs and stuff like that. But the main thing that she said, and people do it all the time. Oh, my brother does cakes or whatever like that. I don't care about them. I'm glad and all, but I'm trying to tell you about my stuff like that. What are your prices? First of all, I'm not telling you my prices like that because everything
Right.
is different. So you can go ahead
Right.
and be like, oh, didn't you say it was this or whatever like that? Now you're getting something more expensive like that for a lower price or whatever like that. It's just the whole I wanted to say it, so it's the whole culture thing sometimes like that because
You
baby, it
can
don't be
say it.
nothing but your own
You
kind
can
most of the
say
time.
it.
Most
You
of the
can
time, it ain't nothing but your own kind that do that. But
you can say
it,
it. Go, but listen.
it don't make no sense or whatever like that. It's
It,
just so I always tell
sometimes it
people.
happens.
I always
Sometimes it happens.
tell people the hardest dollar to get is the black dollar in your own family, baby. If you can get that, you good. And you have purchased for me, and it feels good or whatever like that. I have, gotten, the black dollar or whatever like that, and then, even when you do reach those other cultures or whatever like that, that's great as well. But come on now, when you got other cultures telling you that your stuff is good, that's when you know that that's when you can really feel confident. And of course, I don't want to, like I said, be too big headed like that, but I've had that. I've had,
Right.
a lady where I used to work, for the Cathedral of Christ and stuff like that. She was a Hispanic lady like that, but she did a
Mm.
lot of traveling, and she was just, I'll talk about over top of the cake or whatever like that. Of course, I wasn't worried about it because she was in the back or whatever like that, and we had cut it or whatever like that. But she was really going in on this cake or whatever like that. And I mean, she did have her own plate or whatever like that, but she was indulging, and she just loved it and stuff like that. She said it's so nice and rich, but just complimented me and stuff like
Right.
that, and said that she's had all type of things from different whatever like that, and I have cooked for other people out of the country as well, and it just makes you feel good and stuff like that. Oh, you
Oh,
need to come
yes,
back to
yes.
Colombia, my country, like that, and everything like that. Learn Spanish and come back and stuff like that. I'm like, oh my goodness, y'all, it's so funny and stuff like that. But it happens all the time. And so even recently, I was talking to a client, and they were like, I didn't know it was cause let me go ahead and tell people about my website. My website
Yes,
is
I was going to
GI
say
Cakes.
plug your information.
My information is www.gicakes.company. So GI stands for Growing Inevitable. Now I couldn't say IG because of course there
Right,
is an IG. So you also have
right.
to understand what you're doing and stuff like that when you do your branding from the beginning and stuff like that. That way you can copyright later
Mhm.
and go ahead and make sure that you're covered and stuff like that. I had to do all my research, make sure there was no GI or like that. Of course there's the GI Joe,
Right,
you
right,
know, those
right.
other, and then I think there's also something similar along that lines of to a dealership. But
Okay.
other than that, GI is not taken or whatever like that. So www.gicakes.company.
Okay.
GICARES.company. COMPANY. So
Okay.
recently a client, and I'll put it in the chat as
Okay.
well. Recently a client told me, he was like, oh, I didn't know that they had, and I'm trying to talk and multitask too or whatever like
No,
that.
that's
He
okay. That's
said
okay.
I didn't know they had a doc company, and that just let me know that that he was. I'm just gonna say it. I mean, it's nothing wrong with being uninformed. That's all. Like you have to get informed about that,
Yes,
just so
yes.
you can know, the different things and stuff like that. But that just let me know that, oh, you didn't know it was a doc company. That just means that you're. And he actually was, I ain't gonna say too much because we're supposed to be doing business anyway. We're supposed to be doing business
Mhm.
and stuff like
Okay.
that. And stuff like that. But he said, yeah, I didn't know that there was a job company like that. And it just kind of shows me, where someone else is educationally just on that topic. Now, like
Right.
I said, it's not being offensive like that, but you just kind of, just being observant, and stuff
Absolutely.
like that. So for people that don't know, yes, there is a dot company, just like there's a dot org, just like there was a dot net before all that came along. There was only dot com or whatever like that. Now they have dot kitchen or whatever like that. Well, yes, when you pay that extra money, like that's exactly what I
Yes.
told them. I say, yeah, when you pay that extra money or whatever like that, you can get dot whatever like that. But it also
Exactly.
separates yourself. I said it at the beginning of the video and stuff like that. When you asked me a question, separate yourself
Hmm.
completely. So with my
Hmm.
website like that, I'm separating myself from other websites. You see gicakes.company, and then even somebody might be like, because even when you look at it, it says cakes or like that, but other than that, like that, it kind of don't really tell you that I do dessert, food,
Right,
cakes, whatever like
right,
that. So,
right, right.
and now I also have another website too. Like, of course, it goes to the same website, but you have to understand for branding purposes. Like I said, I know a lot of the stuff, but it still is challenging or whatever like that when it comes to on paper. And like I said, like really graphics and stuff like that. That's
Right,
the most
right.
challenging part like that. But the other website is growing inevitable. Um, dot kitchen, and I'm not going to say that one like that because that one I don't use as often or like that, but it's growing inevitable.
Okay.
But like I said, it's so long. You want to be, technology intelligent or whatever like
Yes.
that. I'm gonna just say it like that because when
Right,
it
right.
comes to writing stuff, you see how that is really small and it fits right there. Something like that is too
Hmm.
long. All that can deter people from even going on the
Yes.
website.
Yes,
You know
it
what I
can.
mean? If they can't just click on it or whatever like that, they don't want to type in growing inevitable. That's too much.
Yes,
GI Kitchen, GI Kitchen,
yes.
so like that, them companies a little bit more feasible, for people to reach and stuff like that. But I still have two. That way, I'm still double advertising,
Right,
double
right,
branding. I can put this here, I can put that there, like that, and it'll still go to the same website or whatever
right,
like that. So,
right.
yeah,
Okay.
it
Well,
happens all the time. you know.
woo, he has given us so much good information. And let me tell you something. You really know your stuff. You really know your business. You know what you're doing. You know what you're talking about. But what I love most about all of that is earlier in the conversation, you said you're always learning. You're always growing. You can never know too much. You just, that's it. You can always learn more. There's always something new or some question to be answered or something to grasp, hold of and use it to the best of your ability. So I love that. And like I said earlier, also, you've answered every question on my little, and just so y'all don't think that I'm lying.
She got it today.
Okay. I got my, listen, I
Cause
got
baby,
my,
that
I
thing
was
was
like this.
blank last time. That thing was blank.
I look, I was looking. I said, no need to. I was checking it off, like check, check. No need to ask that. Check, check. No need to ask that because he has answered every question 10 times over. And actually, truth be told, what I have right now are the sides. Really, he gave us the meat and potatoes. He gave us the main course and the dessert. I had the sides. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes you can't have a good meal without the
Okay,
sides. But he gave, since we talk about food,
right.
but he gave us the main
Cause
course,
you know,
and
baby, we love analogies. We will use it in the minute. You
yeah,
hear me?
what?
Analogies all day long.
So this has been wonderful. This has been wonderful. Now I'm going to ask this last question. I'm gonna try to wrap this up. But my last question to you actually is, where? No, two. No, just one. Where do you hope to see yourself 5 years from now in
Oh,
doing in your business with everything you're doing? Usually they say 10 years from now. I'm going to say five, and if I have to go shorter than that, 3 years. Where do you see where do you hope to see yourself 3 to 5 years from now within your business?
so this is a great conclusion because it literally goes into what was already in my mind and what I wanted to say and add to. Let me just say this or whatever like that. So this is just the beginning. For people that know, for people that do not know me, and you probably can already get a good general idea. I have a lot of energy. I have a lot of
Yes, you
energy.
do.
I do not play games when it comes to boom, 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 knocking that out. Now I can do this. Now I can do that. Free in my space. Now I can do this. I'm a beast at time management or whatever like that. I'm talking about. I set all this up right there in less than an hour. Like, it was a child. I had just woke up. Like I said, I got a full-time job right there, so I work overnight now. I was trying to get me some sleep or whatever like that. So I got to be up and da da da. Listen, and I know, like I said, everybody got challenges and stuff like that. So it's just inspirational like that. So just for people, you got to do what you got to do sometimes
Hmm.
and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So, um, I want to teach. I actually already have on my website, and I have taught already. I've already taught like that. Even in the corporate setting, they always throw me the trainers or whatever like that. Even in the standpoint to where I'm setting up an event, I got 3 or 4 people that they told me go with Kareem or like that. Stick with him and you'll be fine or whatever like that. Like so, I've always been pushed in the title and managerial and leadership position always. No matter whether I was in school, whatever, even in school, whatever like that, accounting or math or whatever like that. I'm kind of bored about that. I'm like, we still going with 2 plus 2, whatever like that, and stuff like that. I'm like, y'all didn't get this information already and stuff like that. They stay on topic way too long because there is a curriculum or whatever like that. Like
Right.
my mind don't work like that. I want to boom, 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 boom. So I'm sitting up there, I complete my work like that, and I'm helping other individuals like that, to get to the the equation, the resolution or whatever like that, to help them out and stuff like that. So I've already taught. Even for an example like that, there's YouTube where me and one of my friend's daughter and stuff like that, we're family and stuff like that. So it's really my niece and stuff like that. Where I was actually showing her how to do bread pudding. This girl be cooking stuff now by herself, fully engaged. I'm asleep. I'm like, what is that coming through the vents? She down there cooking or whatever like that. So she already developed a love or whatever like that. Even when it comes to rollerblade and stuff like that, I've taught my and all this people seen and stuff like that because I post so many daggone videos and stuff like that or like that. Just teaching people how to how to do anything like that. I love to open the minds of no matter whether you're a child, adult, young adult, whatever like that. And so of course this timing is everything. So I've gotten a lot of you know um, um, inquiries about stuff like that. But of course, when it comes down to people actually doing it, it might be a little
Right.
bit
Right.
timing and stuff like that or
Right.
whatever like that. But I never feel bad about that. I'm always so gracious and grateful with like that just for the opportunity like that and the plant. And because once the seed is planted, it's going to sprout at some point.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yes, it is. Yes, it
let me
will.
just continue to say that this is just the beginning. I am a writer myself. I'm a poet myself. Whatever like that. Like I say, there's poems on my YouTube. I have Talvon Talks. You can always look that up on YouTube. Even if you was to look up our previous interview, that is on the same channel, and you can get inspiration, mental awareness, and
Mm.
then mental stability also like that. Because I like to do a lot of controversial topics and stuff like that. And I'm never going to judge people and say, oh, you're doing this wrong like that. No, just highlight it or whatever like that, just so you're aware. Once you're aware, you can change it on your own. You know what I mean? Whether it's negative, positive, or whatever like that, or derive it to any direction like that. So definitely, I'm going to be writing books in the future and I
Nice.
can't wait to write my first one. My first one, I don't even know the synopsis and stuff like that, but I have been started to, jot down some things and stuff like that. I definitely want to do, sometimes, I don't want, it's still cliche talking about your own life like that. Now, I do have so many stories or whatever like that because this is the reason why I'm even doing this now. And then we can kind of conclude or whatever like that. I am a product of a single parent or like that. I am a product of a, uh, Philadelphia like that, where they call Philadelphia or whatever like that, to where it's negative or like that. Or people look at it in a negative manner or whatever like that. But violence is everywhere or whatever like that and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
you can't say that about anything like that. But still, you're a product of just some oppression and all the things that people go through like that on a daily basis and stuff like that. So yes, I'm glad that everybody is talking about mental stability or whatever like that and mental health at this
Mm-hmm.
point in time and stuff like that because a lot of cultures have always gone through that anyway and stuff like
Right.
that.
Right.
Being oppressed and suppressed and stuff like that by
Right.
even
Right.
their own parents and stuff like that because of what they had to go through and be quiet, don't say this, don't talk like
Right.
that.
Right.
Now I'm going through stuff in my own personal life and I'm not talking and I'm wondering why because that's what I was taught as a child.
Right. Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? So definitely, I want to write books and stuff like that. I want to teach. I want to continue to, just be, an asset to the community.
Mm. Woo. That is a hell of a resume. That is a hell of a to-do list. But you're already doing it. So
Yes,
that is a
yes,
heck
yes, yes.
of a
And now I'm
game plan.
traveling. Now I'm traveling. I don't want to cut you off like that, but I actually went to California. I checked that off my list. I thought I would never ever even go to the West Side anytime soon, but I'm gonna talk about it a little bit like that because it's already passed. But I actually did make history and stuff like that when I was a part of the strike in California. I'm not gonna say the company and stuff like that, but there was a strike in California. There's strikes everywhere. There's strikes in Jersey and stuff like that. More and more is being prominent. People are fighting for their ways, and this is all to do with what we're talking about and stuff like that. People are fighting for their individualities. They're tired of it and stuff like that. So
Okay.
60,000 people walked out of the building and stuff like that in California, and we had to cover the strike like that. So they did need a cook, but when I got there, they didn't even need a cook and stuff like that because it was already covered. So instead of using me as a cook, they could have used me as even a cart attendant, where you take the food up to the patients. And I'm talking about hospital setting because it was a hospital and stuff like that. But they wound up using me as a greeter. So, and I'm talking about
Wow.
that was introduced to me through another family member and stuff like that. And I just encourage people like that, like tap
Yes.
into anything and everything or whatever like that. If it
Yes.
makes money legally or whatever like that,
Yes.
and stuff like that, go ahead and do it. And now you have all type of passive income and stuff like that, and all this other type of stuff that people are saying now that I'm even trying to get more familiarized with and stuff like that. That way I can make a little something too,
Yes.
whatever like that, and everything like that. But so California, whatever like that. I'm going to Vegas this month and stuff like that, just as leisure. I'm doing my first cruise in August and stuff like that. Going to Cozumel or whatever like that, and all these other places or whatever like that, that I can't even pronounce. And starting out into New Orleans and stuff like that. So I'm definitely like happy where my life is right now, and it's just the beginning. Like I didn't already went to school. I got my MBA and everything like that, and all that type of stuff. It's nothing to do but to work and enjoy life. If I go back to
Yes.
school, it'll be for my doctorate degree just cause I'm bored or whatever like that. And
Okay.
everybody already said like, you might as well have them calling you doctor or whatever like that. You did all this so
Well,
far and stuff
why
like that.
not?
So okay.
Why not? Wow.
Go big or go home or whatever like that. Like I said, I just did not want to be a statistic or whatever like that. Single parent, da da da.
Hmm.
And then nah, if you want to put me in a statistic category like that, then I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying, expand and explode out of that and stuff like that. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So. And it's really
Wow.
inspiring and stuff like that. So I know a lot of other people have plenty of stories and stuff like that, to where they didn't even have a pot to piss in or whatever like that, or homeless and stuff
Right.
like
Right.
that, and now they're rich or that and stuff like that. You don't even have to
Right.
have this or that. As long as you have your smile or whatever like that and living, you already successful like that. Just go ahead and pick up the pieces, do the rest on your own.
Ooh.
You
Come
know,
on now. Come
never
on now.
compare yourself or your story to anybody else's.
Right. That's true. That's so true. Facts. All facts, no caps. Yes. 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 Wow. This has been, let me first of all let me say this to you guys that are
We
watching and
gonna
those that
break your
will watch.
interview
Let
in
me
your
tell you,
show story.
normally I always tell people my interviews are 30 minutes, right? And if a person can't give me 30 minutes, I'm taking whatever they can give me if they have the time, because it's their time. So if somebody says I have to go to work, or I have to pick up my children, or I have a show to do, or I'm getting ready to take the stage or whatever, you got 10 minutes, let's get that 10 minutes. You got 5 minutes, let's get that 5 minutes. But if somebody has more time, I'm taking it, or I'm going to receive it if they give it. So, and this has been a beautiful conversation. It's been an interview, but it's a beautiful conversation. But it's also educational. All of that wrapped into one, because this gentleman has just, like I said earlier previously, dropped jewels, dropped gems, you know, gave us the game, whatever you want to call it, whatever terminology fits your lifestyle, gave you game, put you on, whatever the case may be. He has done that. And he has done so much and is continuing on that path and on that journey. And it seems to be a sweet journey. Y'all see how I did that? It seems to be a it seems to be a sweet journey.
We breaking out 2024 strong, putting foots
Yes.
on neck all year long into 224, 25, 26, 27.
Come on now. Come on now. That's what it is. I am so grateful and so appreciative um that you took the time and not only to talk to me and everyone that's watching that will watch, but the fact that we were on my page and it was acting up, And he said, you know what? We're going to go on my page and let's do it on my page. And then we both had a backup plan, like, you know what? Just in case things don't go right, we're going to go to the laptop.
Okay.
So we were prepared. We were prepared. We were going to get this conversation.
And
Okay.
that's what
So,
expansion is growth, and growth is about. Because like I said, I'm seeing, like I said, whatever, like you can't play with nothing that you
right.
do. You have to put the money into it. You have to invest, and you'll be fine and stuff like that. But everything is a process. Don't be too hard on yourself and stuff like that, because it's just that's how it is and stuff like that. Like I said, you probably would have talked to me maybe a couple months ago, and it wouldn't have been this or like that. Yes, all that stuff has still happened, but just like anybody else, I go through the down times too, and doubt on myself or whatever like that. But then it's
Mm-hmm.
times like this to where I'm like, nah,
Mm-hmm.
you staying up in yourself, whatever like that. Like you couldn't get away from it if you wanted to, like that. And then once you make that commitment and stuff like that, that's why I don't mind my stuff operating slowly. Once you make that commitment, and once they know or whatever like that, it's the wrap. You can't, you can't play with it like that. Once you get that clientele, you have
Don't
that
play with
clientele.
it.
The
Don't play with
clientele is
it.
there
Don't
to
play with
stay.
it.
Yep, exactly. Yep, because once this stuff leaves or like that, it just leaves. Please highlight your earrings before you do anything else and before we conclude or like that. I
My
always
earrings?
love the different earrings. Yes,
Oh,
like and that
oh, I love these earrings. And you know what?
what shape is that?
It's
Is
a
that
queen.
a particular state?
It's
Okay.
a queen. It's a queen.
See,
It's a
okay.
sister
Oh,
with a
with her
head
hair.
wrap
Yep. See,
and her
see the way it was
yeah.
backwards. That's why I said, because some people got this shape, so like that the ethnic was of different states and stuff like that. But yeah, I
Oh,
love
you
that.
know.
Your earrings is always on point. It's just the simple, the small stuff or whatever like that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You don't got to be all extra gaudy or whatever
No.
like that. But look,
And
listen.
sometimes I like that too. Gaudy and everything. It
Right,
all depends
right.
on what's
Back
going
in the
on.
day, the gold hoops or whatever like that, the New
Yes,
York
listen, I
Jordans.
still got gold hoops and silver hoops, okay? And my hair done by my granddaughter. Hey, Jahara.
What's
She
going
she's
on,
do-
cousin?
she
Jahara, I
doing
love
her
you.
she's doing her thing, so she did my hair. But I wanted to ask you, do you have any shout outs to anybody before we leave? Do you have any shout outs?
Well, first of
Anybody
all,
that you just
shout
wanna
out to the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ or whatever like that. Thank you so much or whatever like that. For just pushing this, waking me up this morning and pushing me into 2024. And look, the Most High, whoever you believe in or whatever like that, whether it's the universe or whatever like that, yes. And other than that, I shout you out. Thank you for the opportunity and stuff like that. Everybody, I shout everybody out that is watching. Peace and blessings. I'm using your term. I love that and stuff like that. And no, I was so full, and now I'm empty, and we are good and stuff
That's
like
how
that.
you're supposed to
So
be. That's how you're
thank
supposed to
you
be.
so much, and it's literally like like I said, my energy gets the best of me sometimes, and sometimes I waver off topic and stuff like that or like that. But this was fine. I literally
Mm-mm.
gave everything that I wanted to give, everything that I wanted to say and stuff like that. And wait, let me chime in on one thing because the last
Go ahead.
interview, I don't want people to think that I'm uninformed or whatever like that. So the goat milk comment or whatever like that, I said that everybody's supposed to be drinking goat milk or whatever like that. Goat milk is better for people in general than the cow's milk. But like I said, some people don't even mess with
Right,
milk, period. Or whatever
right,
like that.
right,
So
right,
like I
right.
said, we learning together and stuff like that. And I was like, I don't want people to think that I'm all uninformed or like that. But to each his own, like you said, people gonna have negative comments, people gonna have negative thoughts. You can't take that away from people, whatever like that. So we just gonna keep it positive or whatever like that,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
keep it moving like that. But again, I thank you so much for having me on the beginning to start
Yeah,
2024 off with a
this is
boom
how
and a
you
bang.
started off, baby.
So,
Yes, I appreciate
and
you.
much continued success to you.
You so much. Thank you so
Because I
much.
ain't trying to be funny. I can't wait till you get out, like I said, out of your comfort zone or whatever like that, and really start doing some things or like that. Because baby, let me just say it. When I went to my cousin's house and she had so many daggone paintings lined up, and I don't want to say no more about that. Cause I know my cousin also private, and she would like you to be all of her business and say and
Uh-huh,
stuff. And stuff. Look, I
uh-huh,
already feel like. Kareem, don't say too much. But you
uh-huh.
need to literally line them things up and go to an art museum or like that, or a pop up on your own. Now I ain't gonna lie, like I said, everybody you can't come on to everybody's set like that because they do the same thing. But I'm doing it like that. I don't know these folks out here
Well,
like that.
you know what? This is about you, but I can say that I have been blessed. But it's been a while in the past. I've had my own like one woman shows where I wrote a play. I did a one-woman show, monologue play,
While you show
all
your
of that.
pictures online and
Yeah.
people buying them.
Also, my paintings. And then sometimes I just, which I'm going to do tonight, I just take pictures of my paintings and I just run it and then I'll get some offers. I also had a showing, actually it was 3 months at a cafe near my job. I had about 10 different paintings up. The owner loved my paintings and offered me 3 months. I didn't have, it was
See,
free and people bought paintings. And then someone else. So after my 3 months was over, somebody else. It was somebody else's opportunity to do it. But he called me and said, "Listen, I know we're supposed to go to a lot of people, but at the end of this person's turn, I want you to put your stuff back up." And I actually had a show there, so it's been really good. But I do have to do more. My mother's always getting on top of me about, Nima, you better do this and you better do that. You could be doing this and you could be. I know, and I am. And in God's time, and when He opens that door, I'm running through. But I have been blessed to be able to do what I've done so far. And then sometimes I will have a show at my house, and just family and friends that have been here before. Never any outsiders, no new
yes.
friends. But you have to order that online.
Okay.
But for family and friends, they've been here and I've done, so. But Kareem, Chef Kareem, thank you so much for coming in the art room. Thank you for blessing us with your information, with your time, your energy. He's been like this since he was a young man. I know. I used to babysit him. I'm not going to tell my age. Not on a regular basis, just every once in a while.
Bad, y'all.
His energy was always, I'm like, this
bad.
where is he? I'm like, he was just standing right here. Where is he at? I'm like, okay. So, nope, he wasn't bad. He was just active. So this energy that you have is just natural. And I appreciate it and I love it. So I thank you again so much for coming into the art room with Nima. This is Chef Kareem. Ladies and gentlemen, go to his page, check out his work, check out his photos, order some of his stuff because you will not be disappointed. We ain't even want to get into the infused stuff. That's another show for another time. But let me just say how it was so delicious, okay? I ordered some stuff. It was so delicious. And I forgot that it was infused. And I'm just sitting with my company. I'm just sitting with my company talking, watching Netflix or whatever it is, not trying to advertise them, but and eating and laughing and joking and went to get up and couldn't. I went to get up and it felt like lead was in my shoes. I was like, and then I remember asking, am I supposed to feel like this? I can't move. I can't move. So you gotta be careful and make sure you talk to him about how much this, that, blah, blah, blah. If it's your first time, da, 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 da. If you can handle certain things, be honest. Don't be lying to yourself. And I'm going to tell you, don't let the smooth, that's a slogan. I think it was a beer years ago, so I don't own that slogan, but don't let the smooth taste fool you. Don't let the sweet taste fool you because you'll be indulging on the sweetness and then go to do something and be like, they'll be like, look at me right now, be like,
okay.
Be like, did Nima freeze?
Okay.
Did she freeze? Hello? Be like, oh, she's still here. And like, I couldn't move. I was like, how long am I gonna feel like this? And then I just started laughing, and I was like, something ain't right. And then every 5 minutes, I was like, did you hear that? Hear what? You didn't hear that? Hear what? The humming. What humming? You don't hear the humming beneath the surface? Beneath the surface. I was like, you know what? That's it for me. So anyway, so that's it. But you're going to have to take us out of here. I'm going to click off, but you're going to have to take us out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, this was In the Art Room with Nima. I'm your host, Nima Shining Star L. He is Chef Kareem in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, in the meantime, in between time, do you and take care of you. Hey, y'all.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in.